I think I will stand here. It's easier to see everyone. I don't have any presentation because this was like very spontaneous, to join this event. And I must say I'm a politician, but I'm also a human being. With my experiences, and there's a reason why I became a politician. It's not because I wanted to become a politician. It's because I wanted to change things. Because I see that the system is not working. The way we exploit ourselves, each other, and the planet is not working. It was too obvious for me, and I really didn't want to become a politician, just to make that sure, make it clear. So I want to comment on YouTube, and I also want to bring on some of my thoughts on the topic, because this has been, UBI has been a very, it's been a tool that I see as essential to bring the change that we need in the world. Because the most important thing with UBI is that it empowers the individual in the right way. I think that all of us, no matter where we are born, which family we are born into, where on the planet we are born, we have an equal amount of potential and power, life power. And this life power, sadly, is lost for most of us when we're born. Because we're born into a system. And everyone that has been born before us has already been, they have already bought into the system and they believe in it. So that's why we don't have much chance. When we're infants, we end up into the system like that. And we lose the power that I believe is our birthright. Because in my eyes, I think that everyone has equal amount of life power when we are born, and we can start operating with it. If it was utopia, this would be the case. Because we all have our unique imprint to bring to life, to this planet, to this society, to this cooperation. Or not cooperation, but this how we co-create the life or society. But somehow we have developed a system where money has become the language of power, and where money has defined the individual and the individual's power to such an extent that we're kind of become our own worst enemy. Parents teach their kids, we all do it. We teach our kids to survive, to compete, to be the best, to do the strategic best thing, to win. And it's all based on the belief that there is a lack. But I don't believe there is a lack. I believe we have enough. It's just a way of organizing the system. That's the only thing that is not working. And as I listen to you two, I see that, Hilde, you're pointing towards how we as human beings actually know what to do from the inside. If you let us loose, we become wild, we know what to do. We don't need that system to correct us. We don't need the system like China is building right now, the social justice system where we actually point to each other and say, he's doing wrong. Minus points, plus points, all of that. We don't need it because we actually know what to do. So that's what I hear from you. And also, Ove, I hear from you the same thing, but from a perspective where you look at nature from the outside, not from the inside, like Hilde is doing. You look at it as from outside, and it's the same thing, because we have built the system where we, because we think there's a lack of life force or money, because to me that's the same, life force, money. In the society we live in right now, it's the same. It's not really the same, but it's become the same. And we believe there's a lack. And because of that, we start competing with each other, and we stop listening to nature. Nature is self-organizing. It's bringing out the best in everything, and it's dancing around each other. So it becomes like it's cooperating, not with the equality that every tree should be the same height, but it's the equality of having the same potential and cooperating and feeling feeling the quality of actually that cooperation, the relationship with each other. I think there's a certain quality of that we are lacking as societies. That quality is making us depressed. It's making us feeling not worthy. It doesn't give us any meaning anymore. There's a lot of it brings crimes, it brings all of these things, because we don't feel that we are enough. And you're pointing towards the essential paradigm shift, I would say, because it's the way we are. As long as we believe in competition, it will not work. It won't. We can try and fix it. Move the table over here and the chair over there. It looks a little bit nicer, but it doesn't really change. We need to change the whole system. So we have to go from ecosystem to ecosystem. Because now everyone is thinking about themselves. It's how can I gain more? And bringing it back to borgerlønn, grunnlønn, UBI, Universal Basic Income. I think that UBI is the solution for so much of this, because when we give back the power to the individual will know what to do in cooperation with the closest. And we will build societies that are real. We will not put the garbage and send it to, you're talking about importing garbage, but I've heard the opposite story too. We export garbage to Sweden, for instance, But our problems, the way we live, the way we exploit the world has become so distant, because it's a system that takes care of it. If we start taking care of it ourselves, or we see what we produce, it's going to be totally different. And this has to do with close relationship with each other and with the close society. And UBI will bring also a better form of democracy, I believe. Because we know every decision is closer. It's difficult to comment on everything you said, both of you, but I think you're pointing to the right direction from two different angles. And I think, as a politician, I'm interested in how to bring these thoughts into reality. how to convert it into new laws, new systems, new ways of thinking. And this is quite difficult because, as you said, Ove, also, when you present new ideas like this, that will actually threaten the position you have, you will experience a defense, of course. So changing the system is not easy, but it's very, very necessary. And who was it that said that brilliant line you have on the back of your book? The utopia. That sentence says most of it.
Levitas, yeah.
Exactly. Because we cannot continue like we do. It's impossible. But the challenge we have right now is how to bring the thoughts that you two so bravely travel around and share with people, how to bring that into the politics and into society. And how can we do that? This is the question. I know that the Greens, the Green Party, Alexander was here today. Me and him, we represent the Green Party. We are the only party, as far as I know right now, that have the universal basic income in our program. Because this is such a fundamental thought. We don't believe in continuous growth. Because like the donut you showed, Hilde, we cannot go there. It's impossible. We have to reduce, and all the effects of the universal basic income will be fixing so many of these UN sustainability goals that people really need. So it's my question now. I don't know how Anja has prepared the debate, but I would like to, if I could ask the question now for the crowd,
yes, please do.
How can we, because I believe we all know things. I don't know things. I don't know everything. None of us know everything. We need to cooperate. So how can we cooperate? How can we make this meeting today produce some ideas on how can we travel from where we are now in the system that is not sustainable? We all believe in it. We all identify with how much money do we have? Do we have a big house? What kind of job do we have? Where do we go on vacation? What kind of clothes do we wear? We all identify with it. And we bought into it. But is it real? Or are we having the same potential, all of us? In Norway, we're quite equal, but if we go to another country, we see the differences. And it might be more difficult to see that the equality behind it. So I'm kind of challenging all of us to look at it. How can we go from where we are now to the system that actually copies nature? I don't know, should I be like kind of should I stay here or should I, you decide?
Yeah, if you would like to, yeah. but
yeah.
I think,
I think it's nice to let Ove and Hilde reply on these questions.
Mm-hmm.
And then we, or also if they want to comment on each other's lecture.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Should we take his question first, since he was...
No, it's...
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, and thank you, Susanne. Very, very inspiring. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't plan on anything, so this is straight from my heart.
Yeah. I could feel it.